Welcome back, guys, to Ni no Kuni, Wrath of the White Witch, the post-game! We're on the trail of Horace, who has a secret to tell us up in the chamber of the Zodiaci. So what is it? What secret does he have from Nazcaan's past that we don't yet know? Bird Medium! I've been waiting for you, Oliver. Shall we continue our tale? Long before I ever became known as the Sage of Ages, I fought in the Wizard Wars alongside my teacher, the Wizard King. I often think of those days. How long has it been since I was last here, I wonder? Blimey, Horace, you're saying you've been to this gaff before, like? Indeed I have. In the years after the Wizard Wars, I occupied the 10th seat on the council, taking the zodiacal title of Gallus. Gallus? But isn't that, him? Ah yes, the Wizard King's ruse. Even in death he strove to protect his daughter. That was later, of course, after my seat had become vacant. But we are getting ahead of ourselves. When I sat on the council to my undying shame, I failed to notice the plotting of my fellow councillors. Ah, I who thought myself so wise, they disposed of the Wizard King and his free servants, and turned their attention to any who might yet stand in their way. And they considered me an obstacle to their complete domination of the kingdom. Sensing the grave danger I was in, I fled Nazcaan. I intended to bide my time, to rally forces loyal to the crown, and return to exact my revenge on the council. But the choice I made was wrong. I should have remained at the Queen's side. But you couldn't, could you? Those rotters in the council were gunning for you, man. It is a risk that I should have taken. By leaving, I sealed the fate of the entire kingdom. Allow me to explain. In addition to my duties as a Zodiac, I have been charged with educating Queen Cassiopeia in the ways of magic. I took it upon myself to create a compendium of spells and arcane knowledge which I presented to the young queen. A compendium? You mean like a spellbook? You mean... Haha! I rather think you know what I mean. Allow me to ask you the question, for old time's sake. What was the name of that book? Okay then, we know exactly what the name of the book is. How to spell it for it to be a correct answer is the real problem. Right, space down the bottom. We don't need the caps and anything, but it's a name and all that. Now here's the problem. Can I fit companion with punctuation? Unless I'm supposed to do things in a short space, like all in one word. It's the Wizard's Companion. Can you let us go further than this? Okay. Maybe it doesn't involve the. That's not good. That's just deleting the wrong way, sir. Right. And now you're going to write from there. So let's try Wizard's Companion. Write it all over again. Oh, woe is me. That is not going to involve that, I bet. Then a space. And I think companion fits now. Knowing the answer, but not knowing how it wants you to deliver the answer is the main problem in any games that ask you to write in an answer. Well, that's correct. Yes, you are quite right. I wrote the Wizard's Companion to aid Queen Cassiopeia in her magical education. But little did I know that this book would lead directly to the disaster that befell Nazcaan. You can't be flipping serious! How could the Wizard's Companion have led to Nazcaan's destruction? What the heck are you on about, man? In my desire to create a tome fit for a queen, I included all manner of arcane magic, including the forbidden spell. But I failed to include detailed notes on the rights and wrongs of using such potent incantations. And I fled the kingdom before I could teach Queen Cassiopeia of the perils of the forbidden spell. I was so busy brooding on what manner of revenge I would exact on the council that I failed in my duty of care to the queen. That is how she arrived at a fateful decision. That is why she did not know the true power of mana. But it is my fault that Nazcaan fell and that Queen Cassiopeia was transformed into the White Witch. How could I ever make amends for what I did? It was unforgivable. Reduced to a spirit doomed to roam the world for all eternity, how could I ever save that poor girl from her fate? That is why I must humbly ask you to right my wrong and to save the Queen. You're the only one who can, Oliver. Don't worry, Horace. We'll save Queen Cassiopeia. We already have. We'll save the whole world. You'll see. You have my thanks. I have some alchemical formulae for you. Formulae that I neglected to include in the Wizard's Companion. I pray that they will aid you on your quest. Why, thank you, sir. And now for my final contribution to your cause. Please accept this. You earned a Mirror of Truth and 10,000 guilders. Sage-looking ghost has been waiting at Arrow Memorial. That's our last errand complete. Queen Cassiopeia waits within. I wish you luck. Oliver, the pure-hearted one, the saviour of our world. Well, that, of course, is not really the last errand. It's the last main one. But, of course, we still have the conductor's quest to do. So with Rift Monsters and the Solaceum left, let's head straight over to Hamlin and take on whatever the Porco Loco or Porco Grosso or whatever it's been called over all the time is called now. And so we stand at the location of our next Rift Monster, our next Rift boss. And it's a boss that will probably have ended up fighting 3 times now if it is what I think it is. Or the robotic monstrosity reveal itself. Flippin' heck, not again, how many of these things are there? Jimmy, you say the same things in the blinking palace and all. Who'd have thought it? Flip! And then any guards because they're all off getting ready to give the White Witch what for, innit? That means it's up to us, Ollie boy. It is indeed. Don't go rushing into anything, Ollie boy. I've got a bad feeling about this and my feelings ain't often wrong. Go to work with the Porco Rosso. It's not the Porco Grosso. It's not the Porco Loco. It's now Rosso. And for this one, shouldn't we be using storm spells?
I'll do my best. Esther.
Yeah, let's go with her. We could use Thunderstorm, of course, and that gives them knockback as well. Come on, guys, get in there. The thing is, I really should start. Wait. Instead of me flying everywhere, try to use these tactics things, like Swain for some reason is on don't do anything, which is weird. I haven't put him on that at all. I say give it your all is good. Don't do anything, give it your all, of course. Keep as healthy as Esper, it generally works quite well. Attack same target, nah, we'll just go for that. Before, whenever I used it, they haven't saved. So I thought it was useless, but this time around it seems to definitely have. Someone had a perfect defensive round there, and it seems a lot of golden glims have dropped as well. Let's buff people quickly there, Espo, with your spell. The other golden glim in the meantime has disappeared. Oh no! Don't you be roasting anyone, sir. We'll stand behind you and use our storm spells until you finally sit down. It seems we finally got a bit more of your attention, have we? Nicely evaded. Get to work. You, Ollie boy.
Roger.
Now we're going to start using, of course, Thunderstorm. There's not much more damage, but we get our chance. Let's get in there, guys. We'll do more damage overall with this than we will with other things. Golden Glim drops, right. If only there was someone with some kind of really cool ability that I had on hand, but everyone seems to buff or boost, so really Ollie Boy is the best kind of spell damage we have going on. Mind you, if we get stuck in a corner, we're not going to be able to use our spells. $767 damage, nicely done. Healthy glow, why thank you. Let's get back to the thunderstorming. Don't we get our chance yet again. I still think Mornstar might do a little bit more damage with all the time that it takes, to be honest. going to get me from there, are you? Oh, but Esfer's just got really, really burned up, that's for sure.
Here goes.
Keep attacking, guys! Come on already, guys, get in there!
Here goes.
Do some damage, but I'm guessing they can't really. Only 1 damage, sir? Not very good. Didn't mean to press on the ear splitter, but no matter what, we'll take the damage. War cry. Psych up. Fly away. Completely messed my psych up. Ow. Why do you not let me use any abilities? It's quite clever. Oliver gets bashed about. Wasn't expecting Oliver to spawn right there and then, that's for sure. Seems I was doing a bit better with things when I had Esper doing the damage. Get out of the way, guys! Some of you might take that without any worry in the world. Gavin Cannon sounds bad. Oh no! Blasted to oblivion. Time to heal up Oliver. Make sure Sappy over there is completely fine. Ah! Caught on the outer edges. Ollie boy, don't go down. Use Mornstar, sir.
Here goes. Go. Here goes.
Follow it up with a Kitty Woo attack. Go, Kitty. Oh. Ah! Oi. You're trying to flamethrow me. Finish him off. His nicely painted eyes. It's the 3rd time we've defeated that tank now.
Is that
And
it?
I don't feel bad about it. All Hamlin's high technology, all being taken down one by one. We got level ups across the board. Cat's clasp as well as an item. More levels up with hardly any stat gains. Freezer, of course, always gets quite a bit. Learn Boulder. Okay, what's this new ability then? A huge rock is rolled at a single enemy, dealing physical damage. Well, I'm guessing it's super powerful, so if we take that instead of rolling stone, it might be interesting. Sappy reached level 22, the maximum for the species. Time for an evolution. Esper reaches level 88. Go hardly any stat gains. Hipster reaches 56. Swain 88. Jack with his super stat gains. Bow levels up. And there we go for yet another boss defeated. However, there's one more thing in Hamlin. Apart from the evolution of our creature, let's get choosing. Right, what is your sign? Your sun sign? So here we go, sir. And we shall evolve it to the cooler looking one of the two. And the better sounding name one of the two, which is Scrap Dragon. Which seems to have better stats across the board as well. Which is weird. Normally you get one having a little bit better defense, or a little one having more magic attack, one having more physical, but not the same for this one. So Scrap Dragon was born. Looking weird and crazy for a familiar we gained for beating the White Witch, that's for sure. Anyway, there's one more thing left. Can't use that in here, well we can use this. Let's return to the front of Hamlin. The one last thing that is left is at the Black Market, where you can get ourselves our final Tale of Wonder, the one I've been missing all this time. So as soon as we can get round there, as fast as we can get around there, go, 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 Ollie boy! You can make it, I believe in you! With super slow running, unless we jump down the stairs, of course. Woo! One day Ollie's gonna hit the edge and just go tumbling, and there was the end of the other world. Jumping down steps, not exactly clever, but something I still do now. Because I'm weird like that. Right. You, sir. It's been quite a while since I had the pleasure. Just look at this place. I bet you're raking it in, ain't you? Haha, well, I do my best. I've heard an interesting rumour. It seems a gang got dressed up in grunt armour of various sizes, sneaked into the palace. 4 of them, there were, counting the little one or so, they tell me. Really? Haha, war travels fast, doesn't it? And there's more. I heard that these intruders helped out the prince. Turns out he hadn't been feeling himself for some time. Flippin' heck, is there anything he doesn't know? Oh, when you came sniffing around for armour, I had a fair idea of what you were up to. I wasn't born yesterday, you know. Look, man, I'm sorry if we've caused you any trouble, but it all turned out for the best, didn't it? Indeed it did. I'm actually grateful to you. Why is that, sir? I've got 2 children, you see, a boy and a girl, and my daughter Grace, well, she's never been in the best of health. Brother Hogarth is one of the palace guards. Since the prince went strange in the head, he hasn't been allowed any leave to visit us. With Prince Nazcaan back to his old self, my son will surely be able to see us. Should have seen my daughter smile when she heard the news. Over the moon she was. There's no medicine like time spent with the ones you love. Family is so important. It sure is. So it turns out that you've really done me a favour. Now I don't like being in any man's debt, so I'm going to reward you. And this time I'll do better than rusty old armour. I can tell from what you're wearing that you're a wizard, and it just so happens that I've got something every wizard wants. 10th tale and final tale. At least for us. And so, we sit down for the last episode. Story time with Alexandri. Right then, the 10th tale. Flying machine. The Dreamer. There once was a boy who spent every day in a daze, dreaming of soaring through the skies. As a young child, he was always asking wizards to make him float for a few moments, a delightful experience! But he himself was no good at magic, since he also hated lessons of all kinds. There really was no hope of him becoming a wizard, but still he dreamed of being able to fly. Nothing could make him give up on his dreams! One day, the boy took a journey to another world. There was a tunnel that connected the 2 worlds in those days, you see, and people were able to travel between them quite easily. Now the boy knew that there was no such thing as magic in the other world, meaning that no one there was able to fly. He had, however, heard rumours about a painter who lived there, who also dreamed of taking to the skies, just like he did. As soon as he arrived in the other world, the boy headed straight for this painter's house. When he got there was no one home. Feeling rather bold, the boy decided to take a look around for himself. The first thing he saw upon entering the painter's house was a magnificent sketch, a drawing of a strange machine that was attached to something that spun around very quickly. There was no doubt about it. This was a machine that could fly. What a shame, thought the boy. And in my world, magic is so common that no one bothers inventing things like this. Flushed with excitement, the boy took a tracing of the painter's sketch and took it with him back to his own world. After working hard for several years, the boy finished building the machine in the sketch, and for the first time ever, he was able to fly. Why, this is the happiest moment of my life, thought the boy with a big grin. Even though it was only for a few seconds at a time, he was finally able to live his dream. A short while after he had finished building the painter's flying machine, a sage visited the boy and spoke to him very grandly. He must dispose of all knowledge gleaned from that other world. The boy was shocked. But why, he asked. This machine lets me soar through the skies. It's what I've always wanted. Using a machine to achieve something that should only be achieved using magic is akin to poisoning this world. Poison? Why is it like poison? Magic may only be used by those who possess a pure heart and who have undergone the proper training. Wizards borrow some of nature's power and use it to humans' benefit. Only those with a pure heart, one uncorrupted by evil, are able to do this. Using machines to triumph over nature is not the behaviour of the pure-hearted. Now what the sage meant was that anyone could use a machine to manipulate nature, even the untrained and the evil. Machines gave ordinary human powers that only gods and wizards should have. Though it hurt to admit it, the boy knew that what the sage had said was true, and very reluctantly handed over his tracing of the painter's sketch. As he did so, however, a young wizard who had been watching them interjected. "Esteemed sage, wasn't magic originally intended to make our lives easier? If machines achieve the same effect, why shouldn't we use them?" Because machines can be used by the wrong people for the wrong reasons, replied the sage impatiently. But the young wizard was undeterred. I've been to the other world. I now know how things work there. They have people called scientists. They are the ones who make the machines, and they work miracles. They are capable of mixing iron with other rare metals to create things called alloys, which are strong enough to plow even the rockiest of soil. You cannot deny that farmers' lives are much easier as a result. Surely you do not believe that all scientists seek to improve people's lives? The sage snapped back. Do you not think perhaps that some of them wish to use their machines to control people, to bend them to their will? The young wizard was speechless for a moment, but he soon found his tongue again. Couldn't the same be said for magic? Aren't there some people who seek to use magic to increase their own influence? The boy tried listening to the conversation between the sage and the young wizard. They used a lot of difficult words and he had trouble following it. All he wanted to do, after all, was fly. In the years that followed, more and more people made visits to the other world. They would become increasingly surprised and impressed by the machines they saw there, and would rush back to their own world to tell people all about them. The sages realized that something must be done, because technology from the other world was threatening to ruin the balance of their own. They decided to seal the tunnel to the other world, to ensure that the place of magic within society was never threatened again. Now, visiting the other world was not completely forbidden. Why? Powerful wizards could still cast a spell known as Gateway and travel to the other world anytime they pleased. When the boy, who was a young man by now, heard about what the sages had done, he was terribly disappointed. Dash it all, he thought, now I'll never be able to visit the other world again. And yet he still dreamed of flying. If anything, he dreamed of it more than ever. Having thought about it every day for a long time, he eventually had an idea. What if I build a flying machine that's powered by magic? Surely the sages couldn't object to that. I shall make it magical, but I shall jolly well build it and fly it as I like. Many months of hard work later, the young man's magical flying machine was complete. Its magical power had been provided by, yes, you guessed it, the young wizard who'd had the argument with the sage all those years ago. Once the final touches had been applied, it was time for a test flight. The young man straddled his machine and took off into the sky. The machine's wings flapped gently as it glided through the air, and its magically enchanted engine allowed him to stay in the sky for several hours. Midway through the test flight, he looked down. Sheep in the fields were as small as dormice, and you could see the waves of the sea in the distance glinting in the morning sun. I didn't think anyone alive has ever felt happier, thought the young man with glee. Indeed, he was too captivated by the scenery to spare a thought for the effect his new magical machine would have on the world. Had he known what impact it would have, you can be sure he would not have been quite so elated. This magical broom flying around. Well, that seems to be all with that story. I'm guessing what they're talking about is it led to, for example, weapons of war used on the assault of the Ivory Tower and stuff like that. Not have been quite so elated. So, with the last tale of wonder read, we head on to the last bounty that we currently have in our hands. And that is all the way over the Miasma Marshes. Let's go. And so once again, we have gained access to the Miasma Marshes. Into the gigantic eye of the storm we go, where we know who awaits us, Bileheart. Whatever his name now, but the conductor was strangely standing at the door and impeded to the entrance. There's no pathway leading down to the Miasma Marshes now, it's just straight in. So it seems to be an area that's just reopened for the post-game to face this boss. I bet you know who will be lurking by here. I can see this coming a blue mile off. Maybe we can just run away, can't we? No, we can't. Examine the black orb. Look out, Ollie boy, here he comes. We know his weakness. It dealt him a fatal blow last time. Bileheart now. Oh, not exactly that much of a change, was Monster it is. Get to work, do all the damage you can, guys. While I make sure to dodge a hell of a lot. All that attack, go for it. No, don't cancel my spell. Ah! Full range of poisons. Thank you for that, sir, and thank you for cancelling my monster. How rude, how rude, how rude, how rude. Keep doing the damage, we might get a chance to actually properly do it soon, hopefully. nasty dodge there. No golden glim. Yes, the golden glim did in fact drop. So let's use that to do the damage we need. Spellcaster Ollie at the forefront. Oh yes, those alchemical recipes we also got from Horace, by the way, are supposedly the strongest weapons in the game for each person. However, for Ollie, it ups his physical damage quite a bit, but it lowers his magical damage over Astra Wands, so not exactly that brilliant. However, the other ones have ingredients like Scrolls of Truth and Collider Stones, which, if you remember, were painful to get. So it really is a choice for some people. Up, we've been stopped by the defensive spell there, thank you. You cast Anthem if you like, but oh no, we're going to be cancel the spell yet again. His timing is brilliant. We've all been cursed. Well, you're not going to get me over here. And everyone will hopefully be healed up by Esper. I'm not doing too bad anyway for health. Everyone all out defense. They should be perfect. What's with the cancelling? Well, even on all-out defense, he's beating up Swain right proper. I'm guessing Esper will save it. I want to get Mornstar to hit, for goodness sake. All-out attack is not the best option here. Definitely need you guys healing. Defend it, but it's still going to hurt us. Take the full heal, sir, while I leg it. At least I actually managed to defend that one for once. Magic's dropping away, but I'm never going to get to it in time. Esper, top us up. We're getting low on magic, so let's change to a more physical orientated way of play. Ow, sir. A massive belly buster there. And I got out of range and got the others to defend. Brilliant. Completely intended, of course. A burning heart from a golden glim. Brilliant. I feel we would have done more damage if we set Moro on attack. Anything else? Get to work, Moro, my dear. Counter. Pirate Queen does it again, yet another boss defeated. No problemo.
Neato!
Loads more level ups for our newest familiars. In fact, 8 for our Scrap Dragon with massive stat gains, Hipster and Bow leveled up as well. So we have everything we need. Let's travel back. Oh no, we can't travel just yet. Vacate. Vacate, vacate. And hand them in, leaving us nice and clean for next episode. We've ended up in Perdita for a vacate here. And the conductor himself has gone, so I would have shown you him, but he's disappeared now. But he basically just said, hey, look, this is open. Go inside. And I was like, okay then. Let's do this thing. It is weird that he's travelled further afield than where he was. Let's claim our bounties. Get our rewards. The Knight's Armour from the Whole Hog. Enigma Armour from Heart of Darkness. There's no more bounties to take right now, so we have to see the conductor again, and we've got the looks like we patched up the risk that Conductor Carol was on about, eh? We best let him know, innit? That's why I was expecting him to still be there. But he's completely moved on. So we're going to start tomorrow with a Solaceum, and then see the conductor about any more quests that he may have for us. We fought a large amount of the bosses, but there's still a few more that can be reused. So join me for more Ni no Kuni postgame next time, and I'll see you around. Bye-bye.